if China can make the fashion industry sustainable, the rest of the world will follow.
Welcome back, everybody. Rich Brubaker, Shanghai-based social entrepreneur. I'm here today at the Kering event where they just launched a sustainability initiative with Plug and Play. Identified 3 entrepreneurs that can help them fix the sustainability problems they have in their supply chain. Also had a great interview with their head of sustainable innovation. Really interesting conversation about what entrepreneurs can do better to work with them to solve their problems.
I do think that the luxury brands have 2 key responsibilities towards the industry. One is to bring true creativity to an industry, which is highly important now. And the second one is to bring solutions in terms of sustainability to the industry.
I'm here today, the day after the event. The size, speed, and scale of sustainability in the textile space, in the hardware space, it is massive. He talked a lot about what happens in the factories, what happens in material production, what happens in the selection process, what goes wrong there. He mentioned that 93% of their footprint, their sustainability concerns, are outside their legal fence. But most consumers and most of the things that we're seeing publicly, be it on Facebook, in the news, through NGO campaigns, it's really about the 7%. It's about what should consumers, what bag should they use? Should they use a straw? You know, should they choose hemp or cotton? It's very surface level in many ways, and like, you know, recycling focused programs. And so one of the things that was really cool about yesterday's event was that he highlighted 3 entrepreneurs who are working upstream on these issues of water, efficiency, materials, the 93% that he can't control, but that economically will work for his suppliers or work for the suppliers of the various brands.
If I have to pick which ones are the most innovative, then I would start with an angle on where do we see the highest impacts in the fashion industry. The second area I want to highlight is the processing step with regards to dyeing and finishing, and a third step, which is at the very end of the use phase, is around recycling.
Now, this isn't stuff that's super sexy. I mean, no one really talks about dyeing. No one talks about water. No one talks about the efficiency of, machines themselves. Most consumers really, if they're aware, it's from the closet to the waste bin. Not really any in-depth consideration for what happens up front. But as was discussed, as was highlighted, there's a lot more to be done, and a lot more of that is really about the business, the supply chain, and getting back into materials, design, efficiency of energy, and then of course bringing that back down to the consumer in a way that maybe through cost, maybe through awareness campaigns, whatever it may be, like just making sure that your brand is on top of these challenges. Now, the other thing I liked about this event was that it aligned very well back down to the broader scope, the bigger umbrella of activities that they are engaged with. They have a lot going on, and what they're really trying to do is engage in bite-sized pieces in ways that consumers, stakeholders, suppliers can all participate. And so for me, this was kind of like, it was a really nice event, well executed, great participation, but the innovations and the attention to detail and really trying to highlight the challenges, the real scope of the challenges that are faced.
As usual in the private sector, every company is working in its own field, alone. We're not used to work together. It's a competitive field. And in reality, even though we are all working on sustainability, things are not moving fast enough. And I saw an opportunity through the Fashion Pact to work together on the same, and be with the same ambition, on the same target, and at the same time to have a much bigger impact.
For Kering, I genuinely felt the people that were in the room that I spoke with, that I have engaged with previously, they get it. And that's really fun to watch, and I hope that through these clips, and I hope through the interview that I will have of their Sustainable Innovation Manager down below later, that you will start to see what it takes to get things done. It's a process that started 8, 10, 12 years ago for some companies and is now only starting to surface in the public domain. A lot of work, but fascinating work. And so with that, I'm going to highlight the work of some of the entrepreneurs that were highlighted. I'm really glad I got to meet some of them, and you can be sure that I'm going to be interviewing them for the Entrepreneurs for Good series. So thank you very much, and have a great week.